Hey, folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. We are here today to go over the Blizzard of Oz, Ozzy Osbourne's first solo record. I'm here, of course, with Adrian to talk about this record. And you have a much longer history with this record than I do. So why don't you lead us into it? We're going to give it a listen just to kind of get our thoughts across about each song as it goes.
I remember getting the album Blizzard of Oz. I actually went to Caldor with Mom, and I wanted to buy Diary of a Madman because it was 1981. That album had just come out, and Blizzard of Oz had been out for probably about a year or something like that. At first, I wanted to get Diary of a Madman. My mom is like, "No, that's terrible. I'm not going to buy you that." So I then picked up Blizzard of Oz, and it showed Ozzy with the cross and everything, and he's not dressed up like a monster. And
marginally more acceptable.
Yes. Anyway, that's how I got my first copy of it. Anyway, and there are two versions of this album and Diary of a Madman too. Of course, there's the original versions with Lee Kerslake and Tommy Aldridge on bass and drums. There's that version, and then he did another version much later on with, I think, Randy Castillo on drums and I think Robert Trujillo on bass.
That sounds right.
About that one.
I just recently picked up Blizzard of Oz because you had it around early on and played it so often. I knew the record pretty well and didn't feel like I needed to buy it. But I finally went out and I got it. And it's funny you mentioned those two separate versions because this is from, I think, 2011. This is reverting back to the original version. However, if you go inside and take a look here we've got Ozzy and Randy Rhoads.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Got the lyrics here. Got another picture of Ozzy and Randy Rhoads.
Yes.
Are we seeing a pattern here yet?
Yes.
And then we have Ozzy and Randy Rhoads, and just for, completion's sake, Ozzy and Randy Rhoads again. Yep. So the other guys are not in here to be seen anywhere. I don't know what your CD looks like, what the interior, if it has the other two guys.
Probably looks the same as yours. Oh, mine on the back, it has the live picture instead of the whatever picture is on your booklet.
Yeah, this is still the
this is the booklet. Actually, I've got the booklet.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So
the booklet's a little different. It's got that photo. That's a more interesting photo.
Yeah.
Than this one. But I think
it must have been another.
I've seen this one on the back of the album, but that one there that you're holding, Glenn, I haven't seen that one before.
Okay, it looks like an outtake of the original shoot.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. This has 3 bonus tracks on it. But we'll get to it. I can talk about it as we go along. Actually, I can talk about the last one right now. It's called RR, and of course that's for Randy Rhoads. And let me see if I have it. Let me see if we can maybe take a listen to that first, and I'll tell you why, and you'll actually figure it out. So here's RR. It's just Randy. Note that riff.
Awesome. Yes. That's awesome.
Boy, he was something else. I Don't Know, which starts up the album here with this one. Oh yeah. So I think it comes in with one of those backwards gongs, kind of like on the Randy Golden's Peace of Mind.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, I heard that Randy Rhoads was on the plane, this little plane that was buzzing over the tour bus, wherever they were. They were out on tour, and they were all taking turns getting plane rides. And he went up, and
the plane just flew too low, and then it crashed into a house.
The plane's pilot
Yeah.
His ex-wife was in the tour bus, and he was very upset with her.
Oh.
And his plan was to hit the tour bus.
Oh my.
And they believe, bystanders on the ground believe that Randy Rhoads is the guy that wrestled the plane up over the tour bus to keep it from killing Ozzy.
Oh my. That's something I hadn't heard before.
Yeah, well,
that's mind blowing. Yeah, here we go. Now this is the first Ozzy song that I ever heard. I remember hearing it on the radio. And I had no idea who Ozzy was. I just thought this was a regular guy playing a really cool song.
Yeah, this was on the radio a lot. Yeah, this Blizzard of Oz came out, I guess, early 81. And,
80, I think.
And then Diary of a Madman came out late.
Yeah, I thought it was 80, but it might be 81. And then released, September 80 in the UK and 81 in the US.
Okay. So we're kind of both right. But yeah, it was a 1980 album. Okay. So that's fairly early. In kind of listening to it again after all this time, I've come to think of it as being pretty close in quality to even some of the Black Sabbath records.
Oh yeah.
This one and Diary, both.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, didn't you have this one too at one point? Maybe you do still.
Oh yes, I had a picture disc with that picture on the back of the album cover. Yeah, this is the back of the album cover. This is the front. It kind of has a hole in it, so you can see the picture disc.
Right, it's a picture. Okay.
Look at it. Here's one side of it. It's kind of like the cover of Diary of a Madman.
Yeah.
And then there's this other side that just has a picture of Ozzy.
Yeah. With
some kind of wizard outfit or something, I would guess.
And a spindle hole in his mouth. Yes, that's that's cool.
This EP has Mr. Crowley on one side, and then on the other side there's a song that I hadn't seen anywhere else called "You Said It All." I think it might be in some later Ozzy compilations, but then it has a live version of Suicide Solution. I've heard there are different versions of this disc. I've heard of one that's white vinyl, all white vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think the third song is Goodbye to Romance. Now, this song I don't know an awful lot about because I have to admit I skipped over this song a lot of times. And
yeah, I'll admit when I was when I was listening, it struck me as a song that could have been left off the album and it wouldn't have been that big a deal,
Yeah, it's a nice enough song, I guess. It's just not what you expect to hear from Ozzy.
Yeah, it's kind of an early power ballad.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. As a matter of fact, the disc that I have does have right here, the 210 guitar and vocal mix only. And I think that's actually better than what's on the album.
Oh.
Have you heard that at all?
I haven't heard that, no.
Here, I'll go up in the middle here.
This time around to love in vain.
Yeah, I think that is better than what they have on the album.
I mean, if you're gonna make it a ballad, make it a ballad, Yeah, like this, you kind of want to listen to it. Like the other one, it's kind of, I don't know, feels kind of, I don't know, too produced or too ham-fisted. Like you don't need drums.
Yeah.
It's my opinion.
So the next one is D. This is one that Ozzy's not involved in at all, but it's good anyway because it features Randy Rhoads.
So it's a Randy Rhoads solo
on an
piece.
Ozzy album, which works.
Kind of like Eddie Van Halen used to do on the Van Halen albums.
Yeah.
Just a little interlude of something that shows off his skills.
Yep.
Yeah, I like his songwriting sensibility.
He's classically trained as a musician. I know.
Oh, he's classically trained?
Yes. On guitar.
Cool. That was my question. Yeah, so. Now here's the track. You want to talk about the PMRC, Adrian?
PMRC. Oh yeah, there are a lot of stories about this song, and one is the PMRC tried to accuse Ozzy of influencing somebody to commit suicide with the song "Suicide Solution," and that
Yeah.
they claim that he even put subliminal messages in the song or something. You know, especially that part in the middle where
You
he
feel life's
goes
unreal.
something like shoot, 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 or something like that. You know, which they were accusing him of saying get the gun, shoot, or something like that,
Oh,
which
we're
there's no get the gun. And shoot, I could understand if somebody thought he was saying shoot, but I think he was just messing with some sound effects. That's what they were talking about.
Yep. I heard him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's,
I don't
yeah.
think so. I think it was something else.
It sounds more like he was saying suit, 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 or something like that, you know, as
Like
instead of
Susu
shoot.
Studio, or
Yeah,
or,
something.
something along those lines.
I'd say it'd be more likely that than shoot, 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 get the gun. Well, what I've heard him say in later, like live versions, says something that sounds like you gotta get the dogs out or something like that.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, I don't think it's that either.
No,
But
it's not.
It
It's
kind of
not.
sounds like it could be that, but
It predates
it's
all that
definitely
stuff.
not that on the album.
The time that it came out was early enough that I think it influenced a lot of things that came after it that became iconic.
Oh yeah.
I think that people took a lot of cues from Ozzy,
Hmm.
from what happened on this, and Randy Rhoads too. For what
I
happened
think
on
the
this record
classic,
and Diary.
yeah, the classic Randy riff. I mean, I hear that in like some other metal tunes in the '80s where the guitar is just going, he's got that thing going with the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, it was
So,
practically the decade of the Randy Rhoads riffs.
yeah,
And then the next song is Mr. Crowley.
kind of an open letter to Aleister Crowley, perhaps.
Hmm. I love this beginning with it's all synthesizer, basically.
Yeah.
And it sounds also a little like something that Spinal Tap kind of borrowed from.
Yeah.
When the little people ruled the earth. Or something.
You could kind of picture a castle or something like in the
Yeah.
background of the song or something. You know?
I'm hearing Stonehenge coming down, the little model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this album got heard by a lot of people, you know what I mean? No Bone Movies. I
Well,
heard
I've
it.
looked at the lyrics of that song, and I know the
Mhm.
lyrics of that song anyway. It's obviously about porn videos and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Well,
Yeah.
exactly that.
Yeah. This is a good rocker.
Kind of like porn addiction, I think.
Yeah.
When I looked at the lyrics.
It still kills me. It's just him and Randy in here.
Yeah.
Such a disgrace. A blue addiction.
Mhm.
I live in disgust. Degradation. I'm being eaten by lust.
Yeah. Yeah.
No bother. And then, okay, so these last two tracks, I hadn't really heard very much.
Yeah.
I like them, but these two I haven't heard as much. Maybe you can tell me something about them.
Revelation is kind of a reference to the end times, I guess, or something. I don't know.
There's no
Lead
pressure, I reckon.
humanity to save itself.
Let's look at the lyrics.
Yeah, let's look at the lyrics.
See, folks, before the MP3 era, we would usually listen to these albums and sit and read the lyrics or whatever, look at the album art, things like that.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Mother, please forgive them. Heaven is for heroes. Hell is full of fools. There's a lot of lyrics like this on the Black Sabbath stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Breaking God's own rules.
Yeah, here's where I probably got that idea anyway. Father of all creation, I think we're all going wrong.
Oops. Oh, good chord change there.
Mm-hmm. Kind of some end times imagery, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really kind of brings me back to Master of Reality or maybe number 4, you know.
Yeah, volume 4.
Interesting. Very goth.
Yeah. Goth with a Beatle-like hook, I think. For some reason, that strikes me as kind of Beatle-like in a way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you tell me how it will be. And meanwhile, the guitar going on in here reminds me a bit of what you heard on the early Metallica stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Early thrash, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
I think they took some cues from this record or from this guitarist.
Yeah. Well, this goes on until it goes into Steal Away the Night. And this is the last song on the original album. Yeah, as I said, a very happy ending to the album.
Yeah, this is a cool track. I like it.
Yeah. Especially after something like Revelation Mother Earth.
Yeah. More Randy here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too bad he's only on a couple of the albums. Well, he's on a couple other albums that they've released posthumously, but
You mean like that tribute?
yeah, the tribute to Randy Rhoads. That's mainly what I'm thinking about.
It's not really well recorded. It's kind of like B plus recording quality. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as a bootleg, but it's a little not as you would like it to be a little better.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, the man has passed away and this is what they have. So there you go.
Yeah.
And it was still influential.
And he's left a huge footprint.
That's the end of the original album. Of course, there's the other version with the new guys. Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit, about what happened to make them even decide to go ahead and re-record the bass and the drums.
I think there was something where the original two guys wanted more recognition, I guess, for playing on the album. I don't know what terms they wanted or anything like that, but there was something about them wanting to be more recognized, I guess. That's what I think I heard anyway.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, my understanding is that they asked for this and it offended Sharon to the point that she said, well, let's just redo it, you know, and maybe even Ozzy wasn't part of that plan. He might not have even been consulted about it. Yeah. But Sharon was just really pissed off at these guys. And so she did that. But then the fans said, wait a minute, this is not the record that we remember. I haven't heard it, so I don't know how closely it approximates the original.
Yeah.
But you've heard both. Do you notice much of a difference?
Not that much of a difference, actually. I think the drums themselves, like the snare drum, might sound slightly different, but maybe. I mean, they did a pretty good job of copying what was done on the album.
Yeah, okay. And, so it was basically them
probably
just taking...
used different drums. So
sure. But you think they probably studied the parts and then played the parts that were original?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay. Well, that's the music business for you folks. You just never know what can happen to your contributions. Regardless, it's a great album. I like this one, and I think we should do Diary of a Madman next time. Just because it's still Randy Rhoads, and those two records are so essential. Frankly, if you only have two Ozzy Osbourne solo albums, those should probably be the ones. That's my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he kind of got lucky going from Black Sabbath to having a guitarist like Randy Rhoads to work. You know, that's like lightning striking twice.
Yeah.
So just a little epilogue on the PMRC. For those of you that don't know, in 1986 or so, the PMRC was big news. It was Tipper Gore who led it, and she was the wife of the vice president, Al Gore.
He wasn't the vice president yet.
That's right.
He was going to be the vice president.
Senator from Tennessee. In any case, she was just outraged at this, and she was outraged at, let me see, some of the rap groups that were out. Prince.
She was
Yeah.
outraged at Prince.
Okay.
Darling.
And Quiet Riot was one of the targets, and
Twisted Sister. They
Yeah.
were very surprised to see Dee Snider sober and coherent.
Yeah, and saying, "What are you doing?" And Frank Zappa too. There's if you ever
Frank
want to see
Zappa.
something great, go see what Frank Zappa had to say in front of the PMRC at the congressional hearings that resulted. Anyway, that's why on records, if you ever buy them and you see those little stickers that say, unsafe for children or whatever,
Keep the stickers.
yeah, keep the stickers. But
They're collector's items.
that is the legacy of the PMRC. All's well that ends well, and we still have this great music. So that's going to wrap us for today. If you have any thoughts on this record, please share them with us. You can leave them right down below. And while you're down there, you might subscribe and leave us a like if you liked the show. And come on back next time when we do Diary of a Madman.
All right.
Okay, until then, we'll see you then.
guys later.
Take care, folks. Bye-bye.